Hello everybody, welcome back. We are here with the alphas and we are also here with the external app called Sweet. This is a Eve Echoes fitting tool. It is a very basic tool, but it does give you an idea of what to expect. You can select like what kind of character you want to use, whether it's a max skill or a no skill character, or you can create your own with all of the alpha skills. Um, it'll show you your active resistances, and just everything in EHP or raw values. It'll give you a capacitor recharge rate as well, and tell you whether it's stable or not. It is a very, very good tool if you want to just look at a ship and some of the fittings that you can do with it. Um, what you're seeing here is a very basic fit for the prophecy that we have purchased, and I'll talk a little bit more about an issue that I've come across recently. As today, I realized that this was an issue just today when I logged in. So, with this prophecy, I've set it up with Mark 7 medium missile launchers, which are not the Mark 5s that we have, or the Caldari Navies that we have. So there'll be definitely a little bit of difference, but let's go ahead and just change that out real quick, since we do have the Caldari Navy missile launchers. Mediums, Caldari Navy. There we are. Okay, now we've got Caldari Navy missile launchers in all three slots. Very nice. This gives us a average DPS of 455.83 with a max skilled alpha pilot. Um, you'll see here in the mids, I'm running a Nosferatu and a Target Painter. Normally in this last mid slot, I'd be running like a Command Burst or a Group Shield Booster. So let's see if we even have access to either of those. Mid slots, capacitor warfare, no. Tactical. And we definitely cannot do field modules. Let's have a look at group shield booster. We cannot do that as an alpha. But where is the shield command burst? Okay. So we can do an armor command burst. Um, let's see what kind of cost is associated with this. Looks like we're going to be going with a Mark 7 armor command burst. Which will then bring our, let's see, yeah, so we'll be getting about 41% resistances across the board there when that is active, which we will be using to lower our armor repair capacitor need, as well as increasing the amount of armor resistance that we have, plus increasing the raw amount of armor that we have. Okay. So in our low slots, we have already gone ahead and bought our Knight medium armor repairers. So that is already taken care of. And then we also need Mark 7 drone amplifiers, but we do have that drone amplifiers. I don't know how many of these I have here I have one. Let me check my inventory and see if maybe I have more sitting in perimeter. Let's see. I don't see any other drone damage amplifiers in here. Nope. Okay, so we only have the one VAT drone amplifier. Alright. Well, good to see you, Jenner. I'll see you when you're... I'll talk to you when you have your audio back. Alright, so what is the cost of a VAT drone damage amplifier? That's drone damage, there we are. So they're about 1 million each. I, th I think we can afford that pretty easily. I think that'll be a good upgrade from what we would have, unless we want to go a little bit more expensive for like a Federation Navy or Imperial Navy. Imperial Navy would be the next step up from the VAT drone amplifier. So that's 14.7 damage increase versus 15.12. So we would be getting a 0.4-ish percent damage increase. I don't know if that's worth the extra 3 million per. Okay, we'll consider it. That'll be probably the upgrade we go for when we hit Tech 8. Is going for one of those. In our low slots, we have an armor repair bonus because we are getting the reduction in capacitor need of 5% from the command burst. And only one of our ships needs to have that active in order for it to affect all of our ships. So that's something to consider. Okay, let's go to our... Low slots done, yeah, combat rates. So we're going to go with the armor repair bonus. I don't know if we actually need the armor repair bonus with 41% armor resistance. Let's see. Let me undock my Vexor here. We'll see what kind of resistance we're working with normally. Because we do have less health with the Vexor, so... Let's see here. Armor. So we're looking at 30%, 50%, 49%, and 61. So we'll have more EM and thermal resistance and more explosive resistance, but we'll have slightly less kinetic resistance. So I think we are going to need the increase in armor repair. So that's what we're going to do. The other two rigs we're going to look at are drone speed augmenters. The reason we are doing that is because of all the extra health we are going to have. We're going to focus more on our DPS and clear time. So you can see I mentioned earlier we'd be at roughly 455 DPS. That will give us about 130, 129 DPS more than what we had on the regular Vexor. So that is an improvement there. But I'm not sure if that is going to overcome the warp time and warp speed differences. We'll see. When you have an extra 460-ish DPS from 3 prophecies being on grid instead of 3 Vexors, I feel like the clear time will end up being better and we will have much better um, bounty ticks because of that. When you consider it like that, you're pretty much getting one whole extra ship. If we were flying the Vexors at our max capacity here, we're actually getting a little over a ship and a half of extra DPS from swapping over to the prophecies. Okay, the next thing we'll be looking at putting on this would be capacitor control 3s. This will give us cap stability, and we're actually pretty cap stable at 35% of our capacitor. We want to be somewhere in the 30 to 35% range. That way we have our most amount of capacitor, and that capacitor recharge rate is with everything active. There are going to be very few times that we need everything active on the prophecy. The only times I would consider having everything active would be on the harder missions, and once we get up to Tech 8. At Tech 8, we will absolutely need everything active in most scenarios that we'll get into. Because everything at Tech 7 is so much easier because we're not going up a tier in terms of missions. Alright, the next thing we're looking at here, we're going to be getting some Mark 7 hammerheads if I can afford them. Otherwise, we'll be looking at Mark 5s, just transferring them over from the Vexors. Medium drones. And we're looking for hammerheads. There they are. Okay, at 3 million apiece, that's not bad. But I would need there's 5. So I would need to buy 15 of these things. Or we can look at buying blueprints, which there's none on the market. Okay, so we're kind of stuck with that. We definitely cannot afford Federation Navy or Assault or anything. Hey, Azim, good to see you. Welcome. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what we can afford. If we just start off with Mark 5s, it'll be fine. It's not that big of a difference between Mark 5 and Mark 7. Mark 5s are at 20 DPS, and Mark 7s are at 23. So it will make a difference overall, and I can show that here. Mark 5 Hobgoblin Hammerhead. So now we're looking at 420 instead of 455. So it's really not that big of a difference, but we do want to get ourselves into the Mark 7s as soon as possible. Another thing we'll be looking at getting is a nanocore. Not quite Omega yet. Um, we're just looking at our Tech 7 upgrades here. So yeah, that's the prophecy we're going to be looking at moving into. And if we get lucky, maybe we'll get a nanocore to go with it. Even if we get like a green or a blue nanocore, it'll still be a nice increase in damage. Let's see, what's a good... I think it's just like the... Amara Recruit. Is that the green one? Drone damage of 12% brings you up to 438 with Mark 5s. Or if you go with a slightly more expensive one, the blue nanocore, it'll bring you up to 441 with Mark 5s. So it's definitely something we'll look into, see if we can get ourselves a nanocore. That way I can show it off on stream and how that works. If by the end of Tech 8 we are in a position to get ourselves an implant, that would be awesome. I would love to be able to get an implant on these alphas. Because it's not locked behind Omega. So we should be able to do that. Alright, so let's talk about an issue that I have encountered. Last time we spoke, we were 5 days from Omega. 5 days from Tech 7. And you can see where my problem is now. I'm not gaining skill points anymore. And that has to do with the accumulation of our skill points. Because I planned way too well in advance. I was preparing for getting a bunch of skills at Tech 8. Well, when we activated Omega, I was going to skill into all of our skills for Tech 7 and do all that for the prophecy. But we're not gaining skill points, so I can't hit Tech 7 until I either spend all of these skill points that we've accumulated, or I activate our Omega early, which isn't a bad thing. If we activate the Omega early, it just means we won't have Omega for a small portion of Tech 7. And we'll have to do 3 more months of Concord Pass in order to get our Omega ready at Tech 8. Yeah, I'm pretty much maxed out on what I can do as an alpha, for what I need in Tech 7. So, if I put skills into any of these other things, it'll be wasting these skill points until we hit Omega and I can actually reset them. My last option for getting to Tech 7, because we are currently locked right now, is Concord Pass, and updates. tomorrow we will be given 200,000 skill points, very likely. It's almost guaranteed that they give us 200,000 skill points every single time. Um, and then I'd have to get another week of Concord Pass to put all of my characters at Tech 7. So, our three options that we have to discuss today is, do we activate Omega and just have it be sort of a waste, but in doing so, I can actually get to Tech 7, but we'll lose 10 days of Omega doing that. Do I wait for the update tomorrow plus another week-ish to get the next Concord Pass? Because those points will go into the characters and level up in progress. Or, and this is kind of the worst option, if we just purchase the basic Concord Pass, we can get to the Tech 7, where we should have been already if I had not planned so darn well and completely ruined our skill point game. Yeah, I'm leaning mostly towards just waiting, but it does suck. I was kind of planning on it being at Tech 7 today so I can show off the prophecy. I only encountered this issue today when I logged in thinking, oh, I'm going to be at Tech 7, so I can at least show one of my characters having the prophecy and fly in around for a bit. Well, kinda out of luck there. Yeah, so we need, see, even this character, which is the furthest one away, um, we would actually need the update plus, uh, 16 levels of Omega in order, of the Concord Pass in order to actually fuel this one to Tech 7, if I don't want to waste these points. Yep, definitely need to put a vote on the YouTube channel or something. Because I want you guys to be a part of this as much as I am. And I'd like to know if you guys would rather just see the content right now or have it be fine waiting for a bit. Hey, Kua, how you doing? Um, we're at a standstill with the alphas. I realize I've planned probably a little too well. I've completely frozen our skill point game. So we're stuck until we make a choice. I'm not gaining any skill points, so we're stuck at 5 days until Tech 7. Rough. And our options are activate our Omega, or pay for Concord Pass for this month, or wait at least like 2 weeks. I think it'd be like a week and a half that we'd have to wait to hit Tech 7. I was really planning on showing off, like, the prophecy and all that today. So this came as a surprise, and I still wanted to show off that surprise and concern. So in the meantime, while we're discussing it and trying to figure out whether it's worth our time or not, let's go ahead and I've got some materials that we've got to purchase from the Concord Pass. Is this one a little bit short? Huh. Okay, so let's go ahead and sell the materials we get from these. We also need to check which box was going to generate the most ISK. Last time it was the industry box, so let's go ahead and check those real quick. Ooh, look at that. Wow. 436, 432016. I'm gonna have to write all these down. And we have 300 of them on each character at a minimum. 2, 016 times 300. That's 129,604,000. 3.4 million times 30 is 102 million. So we would be gaining 231,600,000 from the industry boxes. So the industry box currently the ones that we have, it is worth 77,200,000 per box. That's pretty good. Let's check the offense box. See what that's worth. 432 0. Didn't I just... Is that what I just did? Wait a minute. Did I do offense box? What in the world happened here? Excuse me? Am I looking at this right? I think I know what happened. This guy bought all of the ones on the market to see if he could get a ridiculous up price on it, and now people are bidding under him. Okay, so it won't stay that high for a while. Yeah, the Scion box is returning, so that's awesome. I don't know, if he wants to spend $230 to get a Cyan, that's on him. Okay, so that was actually the offense box, I think, right? That was what we chose. Yeah, so that was the offense box that we did. Industry box is going to be a little jacked up this week. So I'm going to ignore the cells, and we're going to do the buys. $150 million. And what will we get from the constructions? Yeah, that's 102 million as well. Yeah. So they both have 102 million for that. So the industry box is still better at 152 million versus the 252 million versus the 231 million of the offense boxes. And that is 84 million per box. All right. So industry box is still our best option this week. So we're going to go ahead and do all of those. Okay. Industry box. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and get our stuff sold. So this is the amount that we'll be making. And with that, I need to exit out of the game because there's some weird money glitch going on that still occurs. There we go. Yeah, they're supposed to be putting the Star Trailblazers box in the store. I believe it'll go under where the other boxes are, under ship. So we'll get the Star Trailblazers box in here. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and go to the market and see what we can fish up for equipment. I need Mark 7 drones, because that's highly important to me right now. Medium drones. It will put in a buy order for that one, and then we'll buy what we can with this character, with these characters. So at least two of our characters will start with hammerheads. We then also need armor command burst. Gonna have to buy one for each ship. Okay, so we've got our armored command burst. We already have the missiles that we need. We have the armor repairs we need. We need 3 bat drone damage amplifiers. We already have one on our Vexor, and so we need 2 more. Okay? Now with that being done, we have, I believe that is all of the, oh, I need a target painter. Do I already have a target painter? Yes, I have a Mark 5. That'll be fine. I have a medium Nosferatu. That'll be fine. Okay. So now we look at combat rigs and engineering rigs. Let's get our armor repair ones. That's the capacitor need. That's the hit points. That is armor repair. Okay, these are a little expensive, but that's okay. That'll give us the HP we need compared to our Vexors. And now we look at drone rigs. So I need drone speed augmenters. And I really don't think I want to spend that much right now on 2.5% increase. I don't know, maybe it's not that bad, since I only need 2 of them. But that'll short me on the capacitor rigs. I guess we make enough ISK off of the Concord Pass that we could buy these and then wait to buy all of the capacitor ones that we need, and we just buy whatever we can to make it work. Because I believe I can get by with level 2 capacitor rigs. Let's see how much they're worth right now. Oh, that's actually a good price. I'm used to these being up in the 90s or something. Shoot, buy these before I even get a chance to think about it. Yeah, I'm used to seeing the CCC rigs being like over 100 million. So something has happened, and now they're just way more available. Wow, I haven't looked at these in a really long time. Their market value has crashed. And surprisingly, on, $500 million, we were able to fund all of the stuff for our prophecy. We're left with 41 million, 130 million, and 47 million. Do we want to just have a look at what it costs for a prophecy nanocore? $180 million? That'll give us 12% drone damage. And it'd be really nice to get that Nosferatu, but we can't put AI on that. That's 250 million. We could get that drone damage. Yeah, I don't think going for a blue will be anywhere in our repertoire right now. However, what's the chance of getting a battlecruiser box? Because if we can get like a battlecruiser Trailblazer box, that means we can do AI core as well. That would be really good. Have the drone damage plus the command burst consumption on the AI core. That might be our best option right now. If we can get a hold of one of these. It's just a chance to get it, but it'd be good. Inertia modifier is what we would go for there. Command burst startup fuel cost would be what we do there. Armor would be what we do there. Maybe drone range. I don't know. Maybe drone range would be better there. It's not a very DPS heavy nanocore. I'll say that much. Not until you get much further into it, where you finally get drone thermal. Okay, well that is an option for us to get a battlecruiser nanocore. Let's check over here. Nope, that's a Cyclone Blueprint, so we don't get a Prophecy one for that one. Okay. Yes, it takes a lot of SP. Alright. I guess we'll look at... Wonder, can I do that here? Hmm. Alright, well, I mean, that really is just us getting ready to have these prophecies set up and ready to go. It'll take two Concord passes in order to get Omega back. Which we're going to be in Tech 7 for a long time. And we're going to be using our skill points for a long time in Tech 7. Each time we activate Omega, we'll have to be skilling into something so we can maintain our goal toward getting to Tech 7 or Tech 8. So I guess the thing is, if we wait for another week and a half, we're still going to have the same issue if we don't activate Omega. We'll be locked out of moving anywhere forward. We'll be at Tech 7, but we can't gain any skill points without activating Omega and using our skill points that we accumulated. Which means we'll be locked out of Tech 8, aside from what we would gain from Concord Pass and updates for skill points. I think our only option is to activate Omega now. We've been given so many skill points that we can't use until we activate Omega that actually locks us out of our ability to get to Tech 8. Wow. I didn't think this would actually happen. I had considered it being a problem, but I figured, well, like I said, I thought we wouldn't even see the possibility of getting Omega before Tech 8. And I certainly did not see getting so many skill points that it locked us out of Omega because we have nothing else to skill into right now, other than ships that we're not going to fly. Is there any reason why we would not activate Omega? We're trying to do this as free-to-play as possible. I want to stay true to the Alpha to Omega experience as much as possible. Um, it's definitely an option, but I feel like it almost ruins the experience of this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because that is a little bit of an unfair advantage to anybody that was looking to do this themselves. We have access to Omega right now. We have the Plex. I'm just trying to think of, is there any reason why we would not want to do that? We have enough by the end of Tech 7 to get into Tech 8, but we are going to come across we are going to come across this situation again. By the time this first Omega runs out, we would not have enough to get another month of Omega, but hopefully we would have enough skills that we had dumped our skills into. We can't train into advanced. We cannot train into advanced skills when we're in alpha. So we are going to run into this issue again. And it'll be much faster this time. $100,000 divided by I'm not Tech 7 yet. We're currently locked out of it. We have no skill point gain, so we can't get to Tech 7 without doing something about it. They would probably be able to do Dormant Realm, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the recommended fittings for the other Dormant Realms are. I haven't tried. But it would be cool if they could do, like, low-end Dormant Realms. Yeah, I don't think we have a choice. I think we are well and truly stuck right now without activating Omega. Because even once we hit Tech 7, if we wait a week and a half, we still can't train into anything unless we activate it. At least with Omega active, we have constant skill gain until the end of that month. Which means during that time, we need to. So I'm kind of sorry if I'm a little rambly right now, trying to think through all this. Um, my current mindset is we have to activate Omega. So how do I make enough money in 1 month of Omega in HiSec? Our options are Planetary, Dormant Realm, and Mission Running. What? Does anyone have the figures on how much they make per 24 hours of Planetary? If you have that maxed out? Does anyone have those figures on them? If you can look at your spreadsheet for your planetary, um, and let me know what has the most value for 24 hours of mining at 555. I know we won't have 555 on the alphas, but we need to put as many skill points as we can, maybe like 4-4, um, and try to use that to fund our next Omega. Yeah, that would throw it off. Um, POS has much higher mining rates and a larger mining hold. But I guess if you still have the 24-hour value, just uh, I just throw it in the chat. See if see if it can even do it. We'd have to do it within 30 days. So 250,000 an hour on plasmoids, but uh, and that's at 555, right? So I don't think it's that good in high sec, is it? I thought it'd be a lot worse for. And that's with all five, all what is it? 7 planets? Is it 7 planets or 6 planets with only plasmoids? 6 planets. We would have uh 18 arrays. Wow. Let's see. We'd have one extra planet there, and then we'd have uh 2 extra planets there. Yeah, yeah. The value of your PI in null is much higher because of your mining rate and all that other stuff that you get from corporations and alliances. I need to find that website for Eve Echoes that allows you to put in a material and your location and see how far away it would be found. I can't remember the name of that website, but I had found it a long time ago when I was doing industry, and I just didn't save it. Maybe it's Echoes Moby. If that's it, that'll save us a lot of trouble with trying to find it near Gina. I guess the next best one would be like toxic metals or um, some kind of fuel other than plasmoids. if I'm only able to do 440, we're probably looking at maybe 100,000 an hour, right? Is it possible? Okay, I'll have to check on that in a moment. I don't see it on Twitch. Is it on Discord? I'm guessing. Yeah, not sure if this is gonna crash. Give it a minute. Yes. Yes, yes. Uh-huh. Filter. Default is Gina. Yeah. I want to try to get rich here. High sec. Four jumps in Paikura will have heavy metals. Four jumps in O'Bannon will have suspended plasma. Yeah, let's see what the market is saying as well. Five jumps to Kuboka. Suspended plasma. It's starting to look like I'll have more access to suspended plasma. I really don't want to go 13 jumps to go get it though. Uh, we're in Kusamon. No, we're in the Forge, right? Yeah. Okay. I think, we might have to go on an expedition. Maybe that'll be what we do today then. Okay, so if we can make approximately 200 something thousand an hour, but that's based on 555. Um, Even if we're making like $100,000, let's just go with that first. So 2.4 million a day. It's only 72 million per week, or per month. But Concord Pass will be a lot easier since I don't have to, so that's just not nearly enough. I need, what do I need? I have to somehow make the difference of about 600 million is. Dormant Realms can help with that with the low-end materials. How do we set up a low-end Dormant Realm for these characters? Yeah, I saw you had done that. I was like, oh, hey, there it is. Thank you, Jenner. How do we make up 600 million ISK as a high-sec pilot in a month? We hunt down Inquisitors, and we'll have a chance of getting a few 100 million. Yeah, we'd have to make, let's see, I need 1.4 billion ISK every month. Divided by 30 days. We have to make 46.6 million ISK every day. We have to make 50 million ISK a day to keep that going. Oh, never mind. Ignore me. Uh, we make. What were our numbers on the Concord Fast last month? Was it like 460, 500, 500 million? Was it somewhere in there? I'm just gonna assume it was like 460 million. Yeah, so that's like 31 million a day that we have to make. Every single day. It's not hard, but that is a lot of dedication. If we can if we can set up the alphas to be able to do some kind of low end dormant realm, yeah, the PI will lessen it by like a couple million every day. But only a couple. So we're probably looking with PI if it sells, and that's the whole thing is it has to be able to sell. Um, if it sells, we're probably looking at like 28 million a day with dormant realms every week. I'd have to buy materials and everything, and it's just not worth it. Yeah, it's this is the hardest transition for eVecas is between Tech 7 and Tech 8. Um, it really is that point in time where you either choose to play the game religiously and make your Omega that way, or you pay for Omega and you play however much or however long you want. I just didn't expect this particular issue is what causes that choice to happen. It's not because of skills, it's literally because you cannot train any further without being Omega. What what needs to happen to fix this is they need to take that 100,000 skill point cap off and make it like 500,000 or a million. And then you'll have a much better scenario for alpha pilots. Even at 500,000, we're still encountering that problem, but hmm, that is a hard decision. I mean, either way, we have no choice. We need to activate Omega anyway, so let's just bite the bullet and do it anyway. I'd rather be at Tech 7 though. Is there any reason why we should not activate this right now? Like I said, we can be at Tech 7 in like a week and a half, and then we can activate it when we have access to the battle cruisers. That's the only thing I'm hung up on right now. Is do we wait or do we just do it? Because right now, we would be able to put in all our skill points and go from there. Get mining set up today. Welcome back, Jenner. I think we just do it. And then we need to go on a planetary montage. I have an idea on some places I want to check first before we go and do any of that other stuff. Yeah, no problem. So we want to be in like a 0.6 or 0.5 for the mining. Alright, we're just gonna do it. I can't keep faffing around with it. We gotta get to Tech 7, so we gotta do it one way or the other. But should I wait? Should I wait 1 week? Dang it. Oh, that's such a hard choice. Because we just spent 75 days since these accounts were created. And now we're at like 80 days or something like that. But trying to get this Omega. It's only 4.5 days of training. If we run out of skills. Right. When there's a decision this tough to make, it's better just to wait. Hey, we got our Mark 7 hammerheads. Yeah, if you don't want it, if you want it real bad right now, wait a week and see if you still want it. It's one of the best things that my dad ever said as advice. And it's been true. Your brain can do a lot of things to trick you into doing something haphazardly or in a rushed manner. So we'll follow the advice, we'll wait 1 week, we'll activate Omega after that. Um, and I think that'll be how we handle this. Because dang it all, as much as I want to do it right now, it's not the most efficient answer. And it still doesn't get me what I need. So what I'll do is I will put a poll on YouTube and see what other people may think if they are allowing us to just purchase Omega once to get us through this time period, then we'll do that. So long as they don't feel like it's an unfair advantage or whatever, or it's ruining the essence of the series. There's not that many people that watch the series in general, so I don't know. I'm hoping it'll become a popular series in the future. Well, I guess I'll leave it at that. We did, we did manage to get all of the equipment that we need for the prophecy. Um, and I'll bring the alphas back next week, or at least when we go to activate Omega or something. I don't know when they're Tech 7. Let's see what we get here. Well, we got the Tristan core. And I think that'll be it for the alphas. Um, yeah, you won't see them for probably a week, week and a half maybe. It's gonna be at least like a few days into the new Concord Pass, I believe. Unless we get some wild skill point gain for this update. We'll see. So thank you all so much for joining me on this Alpha to Omega. We've had a lot of troubles today, unexpected, But it is what it is, and now we just play the waiting game. If you have any comments or suggestions on how to get around our Omega problem, because alphas will gain, will go through all of their available skill points within uh, 4 days if they're not skilling into something. So we'll have to be skilling into something as an alpha in between Omega activations. So thank you all so much for joining me. Leave a comment in the YouTube. It really means a lot to me, man. I cannot tell you how much it means to me when you guys leave a like or a comment or whatever. It it just makes me smile. It makes my day. So thank you all so much for joining me. Have a good one and be safe.